Alright guys, another comparison video on the channel today. Today we're tackling two minty fragrances from the house of Amouage. First one is Beach Hut Man. Second one is Enclave. Both of them focus on mint, but they go in completely different directions. And this is a question I received from one of you asking me to do a comparison of these two fragrances. And I thought it was appropriate to do this right now because one of them you can wear perfectly in the coming season, and the other one is more for, I think, fall and winter wear. So I'll let you know about both of these fragrances, focusing on mint from the house of Amouage, coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Yes, we're talking about two fragrances that focus on mint from the house of Amouage. It's Beach Hut Man, launched in 2017, versus Enclave, launched in 2020. And as I said, they're two minty fragrances that are completely different. And I think it's appropriate to compare these two depending on what you like and what styles you like. One is a warm fragrance, the other is a cool fragrance. Fresh notes versus warm notes is basically the experience between the two fragrances. I'll let you know all about these. Before I do though, if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you still haven't subscribed, please do click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So how many of you are fans of minty fragrances or fragrances that focus on mint dominantly? Like that's pretty much the focal star or the focus point of the fragrance. And how many of you are fans of Amouage as a fragrance house? Let me know. Put some comments down in regards to the mint in fragrances and also with Amouage. And if you are a fan of Amouage, let me know what your favorite Amouage fragrances are. For me, mint is a very difficult note. I love mint. I grew up eating it. I'm obsessed with the way it smells, but sometimes minty fragrances can go smelling like toothpaste, and that's the kind of fragrance I don't like to wear. It's a turnoff for me. Thankfully, both of these do not go into the toothpaste direction, but they definitely go in different direction when you're comparing them from one to the other. So we'll talk about the first one, Beach Hut Man, which came out in 2017. This is a perfume created by Elise Benat. Style is considered woody aromatic, or I would also go to the extent of calling this one an aromatic green fragrance because it has lots of green notes and it's very aromatic. And the notes here in Beach Hut Man are mint, ivy, galbanum, vetiver, orange blossom, myrrh, woods, and oakmoss. So once again, we're dealing with two fragrances that either lean kind of fresh and not necessarily warm notes. These are fresh, woody, herbal, aromatic notes, and then compared with the warm notes. And with Beach Hut Man, it is definitely not a warm fragrance, although it might settle to something warmer than what it is during the lifetime or lifespan of it, the fragrance itself. But for me, it's mostly a very fresh, earthy, aromatic green fragrance, focusing on lots of green notes. It's focusing on mint, but you're also getting lots of ivy and galbanum here, two green notes, woody, earthy, leafy kind of notes, and it makes for kind of an aromatic green, leafy, ivy type of experience. There's bitterness to this fragrance, and I quite like this bitterness, and I like bitter things. Some of my favorite herbs and greens to eat are bitter, and I like it because you can kind of not necessarily taste it, but kind of like taste buds and smell buds are kind of connected, and I like what I smell here is what I'm trying to say with a combination of those bitter notes. There's a crunchy greenness about it, crispness about it, but very bitter, as I said, and very aromatic and green. So this, I think, would be perfect most all year round. I think Amouage fragrances are intense enough to wear all year round, but this one you can also wear liberally in the summertime, and it's not going to get cloying, unlike the Enclave, which I'm going to talk to you about in a bit. The other thing also about Beach Hut Man, I would actually go to the extent of calling it something like a barber shoppy style of fragrance. It's not necessarily going 100% in that direction, but it kind of feels like it to me, a new style of green aromatic woody earthy fragrance that kind of goes into that barbershoppy territory. So if you like fougères, barbershop fragrances, aromatic green fragrances, I highly recommend this one. This one is definitely something else for me. I really love how realistic the mint is in here, but I also like its pungent bitterness in here that I really sometimes crave in some fragrances. The mint note, and along with the the ivy and the galbanum in here, are so intense that that smell is really, I'm not going to say the word intoxicating, but kind of almost like addicting, because you want to smell it more. That's kind of what I like about this one. And as I said, the mint in here is very realistic, and it's a very earthy, woody, and fresh, spicy experience. So that's Beach Hut Man. Now we'll talk about Enclave. But I should also mention, this actually came out as a duo. Amouage fragrances typically are launched with a male and a female, counterpart fragrances. There is a Beach Hut Woman, which I haven't really sampled. I mean, I have sampled it, but I haven't experienced it too much. In comparison to Enclave, it doesn't have a feminine counterpart. It is in a male bottle, the masculine bottle, versus a feminine bottle, which looks more like this. But it doesn't have an Enclave woman, and I don't think this is referred to as Enclave Man. It's just referred to as Enclave. But this is a 2020 launch. The perfumer for this one is Julien Rasquinet. The style is considered an amber fougere or oriental fougere, and notes with this one are mint, cardamom, cinnamon, pink pepper, Olibanum, Patchouli, Vetiver, Amber Xtreme, Labdanum, and leather. And for me, with this one, as I said, it's completely night and day different, but they are focusing on the main note. Both of them focus on mint, and you can totally, get that here. It's a very minty experience, but for me, this one has lots of warm, ambery notes in it that for me almost feels like a gourmand, like little sweet, minty kind of mint drops or kind of mint candies and things like that. That's kind of the sort of the experience I get with it. But in the end, it's still considered an amber fougere or oriental fougere styling, because you're combining an aromatic note of the mint with the warm notes, the oriental ambery notes, the Amber Xtreme, the Labdanum, and things like that. For me, it's very minty and spicy up top. Lots of mint and lots of cardamom, cinnamon also, and cinnamon is another warm note. It complements the Labdanum and the Amber Xtreme in the base, so you get this kind of like a combination of a warm, spicy experience. And mint has a spiciness to begin with. It's more of a fresh spice, so the whole entire combination creates for an amber oriental fougere experience. Another amber fougere or oriental fougere fragrance that came out last year from a designer house called Cartier kind of sort of has similarities to this, but it's not necessarily similar to this. It's not using mint. It's using, I think, lavender or some other aromatic notes. Here, it's definitely a minty fragrance, and you do experience the mintiness of this particular fragrance. And to me, what I get are little candied mints experience. Sweet candy notes with aromatic green, mint herbal notes together. And that's the experience I get with this one. Now I'm going to let you know which one is my favorite. Can you guess before I tell you? My favorite is Beach Hut Man over Enclave. I just love the realistic minty qualities of Beach Hut Man in comparison to Enclave. And as I said, I don't like minty fragrances that go into the toothpaste side or direction of mintiness. This one doesn't, but it's more like a mint candy to me. So it has kind of like sweet touches and things like that. And I know I have a lot of friends who love mint chocolate combinations. I have a love-hate relationship with it because I feel like mint is associated with toothpaste or herbs that I eat, and sometimes candy mint goes into more of a artificial mint direction rather than like authentic mint. And what I like about Beach Hut Man is the mint smells authentic, and in here the mint is a little more candied mint, like sort of going into like an artificial mint direction. So in the end, both of them are great fragrances. I just prefer Beach Hut Man because I love the pungent qualities of the intense mint and ivy, and also the galbanum note, bitter green notes that, you know, work wonderfully together. And that's basically it. Those are the differences. It depends on what kind of mint you like. Fresh mint, fresh spicy, warm spicy mint, warm spicy experience. And I personally think this one is an all year round fragrance. This one, I think, in the summertime when it's really warm outside, it might get a little cloying, but of course there really are no rules. You can control your sprays and things like that. But I think this one is more suited for, you know, cooler days, cooler seasons and things like that. And of course this, I think personally, is an all year round. It might be a little not so potent for winter, but I think, as I said earlier, Amouage fragrances are potent enough that you can get away with wearing this one all year round. Anyway, those are my thoughts on both Beach Hut Man and Enclave from Amouage. Let me know your thoughts on these two fragrances. Do you enjoy mint and fragrances, and do you like Beach Hut Man or Enclave over the other? Let me know. Put a comment down so I can find out. And also let me know, guys, if you want me to do any other comparison videos, please send an email to lfsgquestions@gmail.com. Let me know which fragrances you want compared so I can go ahead and prep those videos for you guys. And as I said, I hope this answers your question, whoever you were that asked me how these compare. And again, guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.